Why, hello there. Not only is it Friday, meaning it's Baldy and Crank Day, but it's Baldy and Crank wear a mesh shirt kind of day. For those of you taking bets on what shirt I'd wear this Friday, there you go. We've got a lot of weather to talk about as Crashy the cold front has arrived, and next week is going to get very stormy. Let's talk about it and say who might see some ice. Sunday night and Monday morning, a lot to talk about in this Friday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning. It's Friday, the 19th of January, 2024. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. We've got a lot of weather to talk about over the next week or so. First off, we'll have Crashy the cold front today, bringing much cooler temperatures back to Texas after about a 2-day respite from all of that nonsense. That'll take us through the weekend before warm air advection and southerly winds kick in to gear on Sunday, bringing much warmer temperatures to the entire state next week, along with a whole lot of rain. We may get a little more than we bargained for in that department as well. Let's jump into it. Take a look at the high-resolution rapid refresh model for today, tonight, into Saturday. We're going to stay dry today, much of tomorrow, maybe some rain chances in the Rio Grande Valley, the lower Texas coast, Saturday evening, but otherwise the main issue will be cold today, tonight, tomorrow, and then the entire state's going to be shrouded in cloud cover tomorrow into Sunday, and then stay that way most of next week as a very active and precipitous weather pattern sets up. You like what I did there with the magical super duper word? I can do that from time to time without stuttering. It is a gift. Occasionally, every once in a while. See, there, I stuttered just like that. All right, today's high temperatures across the state not getting above freezing. If you're in the Panhandle, Texoma, places like Dalhart, Amarillo, Perryton, 25 this afternoon. That sounds brisk. High of 33 in Wichita Falls, 31 to 32 in Gainesville to Sherman, over to Paris. Mid-30s, North Texas, the Arklatex, the Big Country, West Texas. 40s, along North Interstate 10, 50s to low 60s if you're in deep South Texas, Southeast Texas, out into the Big Bend, and far West Texas. As we go into tonight, oh, by the way, it's going to be windy too, so add wind chills onto that. Yeah, it's going to be cold. Here's tonight. Yeah, we're going back into the teens across the northern half of Texas. The freezing line making it all the way south to the middle and upper Texas Gulf Coast. The only spots not freezing tonight will pretty much be the immediate lower Texas coast line, maybe the Rio Grande Valley, and maybe just right around El Paso. The entire state otherwise experiencing a freeze again tonight. So if your pipes just thawed, well, they're going to try and freeze up again. Here are Sunday's high temperature forecast. Pretty much another cool day across the state. Not as bad as last week, mostly, but we'll see 30s, northern half, about northern third, northern half of Texas. Boy, I'm doing well with words this morning. 40s across the remainder of the state, with the exception of the Borderland and the Rio Grande Valley, who will try to top out near 60 on Saturday. You can see we're going to start warming things back up on Sunday as that Gulf moisture starts trying to flow back inland. Lower Texas Gulf Coast, Middle Texas Gulf Coast, highs in the 50s to low 60s. We'll see 40s, 30s across the remainder of the state, but this will be a situation where temperatures will actually rise past sunrise Sunday and continue climbing Sunday night into Monday morning during the pre-dawn hours as we see strong warm air advection and some rainfall across the state that will actually help drag down warmer temperatures that are going to be located a few thousand feet aloft. The cold front today is only a couple thousand feet thick from the surface up to about 4,000 to 5,000 feet. Above that, it's actually going to remain in the 40s and 50s, about 10 degrees Celsius, which provides that warm layer aloft. So that's why. And that's why we're also going to be talking about precipitation, rain, or freezing rain. No sleet, no snow. Here are Monday's high temperatures. You can see we're going to bulk it up across the state. 60s and 70s, southern two-thirds of Texas, even down to the Panhandle, West Texas. We'll see 50s. Coolest spot, again, 50s, upper 40s, Texoma, North Texas, the Arklatex. Then as we get into Tuesday, a little cooler northwestern half of Texas with 40s and 50s, but still sticking it out in the 60s and 70s, southeastern half of Texas, maybe an 80 in the Rio Grande Valley. Now, let's take a look at the precipitous weather pattern setting up from Sunday onward. Here you go. And you're going to notice for most of this, we're going to be talking about pure rain. not frozen precipitation. There is going to be an exception to that, but we're looking at a wet week. It's going to continue past Wednesday. Much of next week looks wet, and in some cases, we're going to see a lot of rainfall. We'll look at the forecast rain totals in a minute. But for those of you in Texoma, maybe North Texas, we may have a period Sunday night where, even though we're going to see temperatures slowly rising, we may be cold enough to still be below freezing as rain begins. As that occurs, it would fall as freezing rain. But there's some complexities to this equation because we're not going to have a reinforcing cold air reservoir in place. Temperatures are actually going to be slowly warming Sunday night into Monday morning. Second, with that layer of 40 to 50 degree air a few thousand feet above the surface, any heavier precipitation may actually drag some of that warmer air down to the surface, prevent the water droplets from becoming super cooled and freezing on contact in areas at the surface that are still below freezing. That means most of the rain would simply run off versus instantly freeze up. That would tend to keep ice accumulations lower and lower the ice accretion efficiency ratio. And then, of course, 3 is just when is that cold air going to lift north and when are temperatures going to rise above freezing? Well, let's take a look. In terms of that, you don't get anything because I pressed the wrong button. I promise. Here we go. We'll look at forecast rainfall totals first. This is through 6 a.m. Wednesday. The possibility of 4 to 7 inches of rain. The Golden Triangle, far southeast Texas near Beaumont, the upper Texas coast, southeast Texas down to the coastal plains. And yes, that will be enough rainfall even spread out over the span of a few days to increase the threat of flooding, especially on Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe even Monday. You can see we're expecting 2 to 4 inches of rain. The Piney Woods of East Texas, the Brazos Valley down to Victoria, roughly from near Bonham to Dallas to Killeen, all the way down to San Antonio, 1 to 2 inches of rain by 6 a.m. Monday, with more rain on the way for the second half of this upcoming week. So quite precipitous for January for sure, and we're definitely going to have to keep an eye out for increasing instances of some flooding issues, especially as we continue into Tuesday and Wednesday as soils become saturated in areas where they're not already saturated. Adding to the complexity of that is most soils are quite cold right now, so they're not going to be able to absorb as much water, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. Now, in terms of freezing rain potential, this will be limited to Sunday night and Monday morning. Here is our current initial forecast. And this is a bit on the high end of things as it looks now, but I wanted to encompass areas that may be borderline near freezing. Notice Kerrville, the hill country west of 35 in south central Texas. A little bit of ice can't be ruled out Sunday evening before temperatures rise above freezing, probably by 3 a.m. Monday, as temperatures slowly climb Sunday evening into Monday morning. Now, right now, the ice zone for light ice encompasses Texoma, but also does run south to Interstate 20 from near Eastland, Abilene, Ranger Hill, all the way through maybe the northern part of the DFW Metroplex. And I want to emphasize this will change. If we can keep things warmer and or allow the rainfall aloft to fall at a rate heavy enough to drag some of that warmer above freezing air down to the surface, ice totals will remain light. If, on the worst case scenario side of things, we're able to hold on to the sub-freezing air mass longer, say through 6 a.m. Monday, 9 a.m. Monday across Texoma, North Texas, in conjunction with rainfall approaching 1/4 to 1/2 inch, the ice totals will go up, and we would be talking about impacts to exposed elevated surfaces, bridges, overpasses, tree branches, power lines. Right now, the highest chance for some of the more impactful accumulations from ice currently appear to be across south central and southeastern Oklahoma, say from the Arbuckle Mounds east towards Hugo. But again, we're going to have to keep an eye on things. Hopefully, we can keep this to where most surface roads won't ice up. Regardless, temperatures will climb above freezing by mid-morning, late morning Monday, and will stay above freezing a vast majority of the upcoming week. Heavy rainfall will continue Monday, and as temperatures climb above freezing, that heavy rain will actually act to rapidly improve any adverse icing conditions since, well, pouring rain above freezing will actually help melt the ice. So this will be something we're going to watch for a conditional threat of some icy mischief. The threat compared to the video yesterday has increased, especially across portions of Texoma and North Texas. The way it looks now, if it's like this, we're going to watch for icy spots on bridges, overpasses, Sunday night into Monday morning, maybe as far south as the DFW Metroplex, back west towards Eastland, Ranger Hill, north through Wichita Falls, east on 82 through Gainesville, Sherman, Paris, for the comparatively higher chance of ice, and then north of the Red River into Oklahoma, where temperatures will try to stay in the upper 20s most of Sunday night. But again, this is going to be a situation where things will be working towards preventing this versus us being worried about things working against preventing this, since temperatures will slowly rise Sunday night into Monday morning, and we're going to have that warm layer aloft helping to hopefully drag some of the warmer air down with the rain. So the harder it rains, the better the chances icing won't be as much of an issue, unless temperatures end up staying colder than expected and that warm air advection isn't able to nudge that freezing line back north as quickly as the current forecast suggests. We're going to watch it this weekend, that's for sure. Regardless, it is going to be a wet week next week across the eastern half of Texas with warming temperatures, thunderstorms. We may even have some rowdy thunderstorms by mid to late week along the middle and upper Texas coast. We'll keep an eye out for that. And then this should end our winter weather mischief chances for a while. But it's mid-January. We got to get through February. So that will be it for your Friday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. As always, you can get your local weather forecast in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app, especially if you're on Apple products. Google seems to be misbehaving a bit right now. We are looking into that, but otherwise you can check out our free interactive weather radar on our website, texasstormchasers.com/radar. The plan for this weekend, we typically don't do weekend videos. It's typically a Monday to Friday thing. Tomorrow, Saturday, I can't guarantee we'll have a video, but if we do, there's a higher chance it'll be during the afternoon hour Saturday. And then Sunday, the plan is we will put a video out during the morning hours Sunday and continue on from there. So we'll see just how this shapes up over the next few days. It's a challenging forecast for sure, but, well, what isn't here in the state of Texas when it comes to Mama Nature's temper tantrum? So we'll keep an eye on things. We'll post updates as needed. And as always, keep an eye to the sky. Have a great Friday. Enjoy the weekend. God bless.